Good morning, everyone. My name is Morgan Cox, and I am here joined with Andra Anderson. And we are super excited to talk this morning about SMART goals and goal setting. It's something that we are both incredibly passionate about, and we are just thrilled to be able to talk about this today with you guys. And I think it's a really, really great time to think about setting goals, especially since we're all at home.
Awesome. Yes. And I am Mrs. Anderson, and I am the Next Gen coordinator in Kent County, and just really love goals.
So, why set a goal? That might be a question you have. Goal setting is something that you can either have a little bit of experience in or have a ton of experience in, and ultimately does not matter because once you set your goal, it helps you become the person that you want to be. The whole idea behind setting a goal is noticing where you are in life and wanting to better yourself. So, coming up with some things that motivate you to become that better person.
So then what is a SMART goal? What do we mean? So you'll notice that SMART is all capitalized because each letter stands for something. So when you're setting a goal and you're coming up with a big dream of something that you really want to accomplish, it's important to kind of bring it in and be specific. Make sure it's something that's measurable. Make sure it's something that it's achievable, realistic, and set a time for it. So SMART. And I know that
we have features in our Way to Be magazine that we can include later, but having those 5 things, the being specific, having something you can measure it by, achieving, how you can define how it's even achievable, and if it's realistic or not. Of course, setting a goal that's not realistic probably means that you won't be as successful with it. But I think one of the most important features of setting a SMART goal is having that time frame, because if you set a goal for yourself but don't give yourself a time frame to work towards it in, it's going to be harder to encourage yourself to do it and also capture whether you're achieving that goal or not. And we'll include that link in the comments here after the video.
So you can have that worksheet for yourself. So now we thought it'd be really cool because both Mrs. Cox and I love goals. We thought it would be really helpful to share with you. So, Mrs. Cox, what's your goal?
Absolutely. So goal setting, like I said earlier, is something that I'm super, super passionate about. I personally set goals for myself. I set goals in a couple of different ways. I start by setting my year-long goal. So kind of like that New Year's resolution type deal, where I set an overall big picture goals for my entire year. From there, I break those goals down to monthly goals that feed into those bigger picture items. So for example, one of my really big goals that I'm passionate about this year is nurturing the activities that fuel me, that get me excited about life. And that typically for me includes any hobbies I might have, taking care of myself, whether that's health related or fitness related. And having that time, like me time, kind of like self-care. That's something that I know about myself that I'm not very good at. I like to be involved in so much that sometimes I get so busy that I don't take time for myself. So I recognize that, and I wanted to make that a bigger part of my life this year. So each month I break that big picture goal down into a smaller monthly goal. And this month, I have 2 that feed into that goal. One of which is to make sure that I'm working out, which is kind of hard in March because the weather's kind of awkward, and I am not a person that loves going to the gym. But I have set a couple of different ways to measure that goal, whether it's by taking daily walks or watching a fitness video and doing that within my home. My other goal overall for the month of March, in terms of taking care of myself and things that fuel me, is to plan my family vacation. Now that's actually one of the kind of awkward goals about this year, because this year planning vacation is kind of at a standstill right now with everything that's going on in the world. not knowing what's going to happen in a couple of months and where we will be, I've had to adjust that goal, but that's okay. Being able to go back and making edits to your goal, and giving yourself a little bit of grace while you're trying to accomplish these goals, things happen in life. So we have to be able to adapt and change our goals. So that's typically what I do. I've kept goals and tracked them in a couple different ways. This year I have a whole planner that's dedicated to it. So I make sure that it's all color coordinated and I have my goals listed here. And then I make sure that I take care of all of my goals and color coordinate them because color fuels me. So making sure it's color coordinated helps me stay organized. And of course, as I fill in my lines on my goal planner and see all of the pretty colors fill in, it makes me motivated to keep working towards those goals, even if it's challenging, even if I have to make some edits to it. So Ms. Anderson, what is one of your goals for this year?
My big goal, and I'm sure a lot of you have this same goal, is to save money. So I started with this really, really big idea of saving $10,000. Huge. And then you kind of start to freak out a little bit when it's so big, which is why I used my SMART goal worksheet that's in the MBRT Way to Be magazine to really break it down and make it seem more doable. So I started off with that lofty goal and I broke it down by giving myself a time. Okay, December 31st. I wanted to have that done by December 31st. And then I looked even smaller. Okay, what about monthly? What's the monthly goal? What about weekly? And then daily, because that's where the real change will happen. And by writing it all out, I kind of looking at measuring every single quarter of the year. So the first quarter is ending soon and I'm already a third of the way to my goal. And I think it's really because I have that accountability of that worksheet to write it down and to make sure that it was specific. So every month, this much, every week, this much, looking at it measurably, each quarter, this much. And that made it really more achievable. So you can start with something super big that seems way out there and find out a way to make it really measurable and achievable and give yourself that time. And, there are lots of little ways that you can go in with the idea of saving money. And I just kind of took each approach and looked at it. Does it meet what I need to do? Is there something that I can cut from my budget? Instead of looking at like, oh, I need to earn more, it was like stepping back, this versus that, making sure it was something that fit in with that overall big goal that I really, really wanted to achieve. So again, you can start really big and it could be crazy big, but you can make it smaller by using this SMART goal method and really make it super achievable. So now we want to hear from you guys, and we want you to share a goal that you have, because the best way to do something is to share it. That way you're accountable. So somebody close to you needs to know your goal. You can't just kind of write it down and put it away in a drawer and be like, well, maybe one day it'll happen. So we want you to be accountable, and we're here. We do this with our students in the classrooms. We want to hear from you. So we thought maybe we could share a couple of ideas if you're kind of stuck, like, oh, I don't know what goal to do. So yeah, Ms. Cox, what's an idea that somebody could use?
I think one of the best ideas you can do right now, especially when we're all kind of stuck at home, is to find 30 minutes in your day to be active. That can be taking a nice walk outside in the fresh air, maybe playing out in your yard for 30 minutes. And even if it's not a beautiful day like today, if you're stuck inside and it's raining or it's not warm out, be active in your house. You can play, there's lots of different active games you can play inside, participate in maybe like an online workout. A lot of different types of businesses and workout regimes happen online. You can stream it, you can stay active. It's important to stay moving, and it keeps your mind kind of in a good space where you can really just stay positive, because honestly, that's something that's really important as we experience this really unusual time.
And along those lines, so right now you're at home, keeping the brain sharp. So maybe setting a goal to read for 30 minutes a day. And honestly, make it something other than the news. Make it something pleasurable, something that you enjoy learning about. So just setting a timer, maybe coming up with, okay, 30 minutes of reading what? Maybe that subject doesn't matter as long as it's just something that keeps you happy and engaged. So yeah, what else? What else, Ms. Cox? What else could people do?
Well, for any high school students that are still thinking about what colleges they might consider attending in the future, another really easy activity is to go visit those colleges. Obviously, in person isn't happening right now, but you can still take virtual tours of colleges. There are so many colleges that have that option when you log onto their website. You can just pick 5 colleges even, maybe within Maryland, or maybe branch out and look at different colleges around the country. Visit 5, set the goal of 5 colleges, then find their websites. When you go to their website, find the virtual tour option and you can go toward that campus. Think of different questions you might have and see if those questions get answered along the way while you're exploring that college's website. That's I think, a really great idea for any student who is on the fence or definitely excited about the future or their future out of college.
I love that one. That is such a good idea. Another one related to your future, because we are so interested in thinking forward and helping you be successful in your future. Use this time to put your resume together. So this could be, if you are looking to go to college, colleges want to see a resume. They want to know what your accomplishments are and what you are most proud of. If you are looking for a part-time job after all of this isolation ends, you will be ready because you will have that resume in hand. So we also have some tips about resumes in our Way to Be magazine, which we will absolutely link for you. So, and we might even do, if that's something that you want to see, we'll even do a special show just about doing your resume, and maybe even bringing some employers in to tell you like tips and tricks of what they're looking for. So that could be something. Start putting all of that stuff together, all of the things that you've accomplished, the clubs that you're part of, if you've gotten any awards for maybe athletics or writing or anything like that, start putting it in one place, and you can use that going forward for college, for part-time job, for a future job once you graduate high school. And there's never a bad time to start putting your resume together. Even if you are an adult and you're in one job and you want to work toward another job or get a second part-time job, always a good idea to look and sharpen up that resume. So that's something you could definitely be doing right now, and that could be a great goal for you to work on.
So I hope some of those goal ideas that we just shared with you encouraged you and motivated you to set goals of your own, whether they're based off of the ideas we just shared, or if you have your own personal goal that you're very excited to work towards. But regardless of how you came up with your goal, share it with us. We want to help keep you accountable. You can drop it in the comments, or you can share it with maybe somebody close by to you that can help keep you accountable, keep you in charge of setting your goals so you are prepared for your future.
Yes, share. We want to hear from you. We want to know what your goals are. We want to celebrate you on all of the wins when you get those goals, and even help you brainstorm. If you want to workshop through a goal, I know definitely Mrs. Cox does this with her students. I do with my students in Kent County. We love talking about goals, and we want to see you be successful. So definitely share with us. We are coming back with more content in the rest of this week and next week related to College Surge. Coach Tashi has an amazing broadcast ready for Tuesday talking about being a student athlete and coming to that next level. We are so excited to share our knowledge with you, but we also want to hear from you. What kinds of things do you want us to talk about? Because we are open to anything related to your future. So if you want to do something related to a specific job or an industry, please write in the comments, let us know. We are here for you, and we are so excited to be sharing all of this with you. All right. Well, until next time, until we meet again, go ahead and share those goals. Let's get excited, and we will talk to you all later. Have a great rest of your day and writing those goals.